Trump is in the Middle East right now. He's speaking to the Israeli Knesset. I'm just going to play this clip. This is actually quite shocking.
I kept my promise and officially recognized the capital of Israel and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem. Isn't that right, Miriam?
He promised to recognize Jerusalem and to move the embassy to Jerusalem. Promise kept.
Miriam and Sheldon would come into the office. I think they had more trips to the White House than anybody else I can think of. Look at her sitting there so innocently. She got 60 billion in the bank, 60 billion. But they were very responsible for so much, including getting me thinking about Golan Heights, which is probably one of the greatest things to ever happen.
Golan Heights, that was a big gift. He promised Golan Heights, and he recognized.
I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once. I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel. We love you. Thank you, darling, for being here. That's a great honor. Great honor. She's a wonderful woman.
What? Excuse me? I'm sorry, you are the President of the United States of America. Miriam Adelson is supposedly an American citizen, and he's sitting there as the President of the United States saying that her and her husband visited the White House more than anyone. And when asked who she's loyal to, she refused to answer. And he's cheering that on, he's praising it, saying, we love you, you're so great, it's an honor, you're an honor. I mean, are you kidding me? This is what Americans are fed up with. This is over the top. This is too much. This is treason. The President of the United States is admitting that he allowed traitors in the White House more often than anyone else. People advocating for the benefit of a foreign country. He allowed traitors into the White House over and over and over again, knowing that this is the way they are, saying that they're responsible for the Golan Heights, that they're responsible for him moving the embassy to Jerusalem. He's admitting that they are influencing American foreign policy. Traitors in the White House. And you know what that makes Donald Trump? That makes him a traitor.
Hey everybody. Lots of you are asking about plenary authority, which is a phrase that Stephen Miller used recently on CNN. It's important to know that what Miller said was not an accident or a mistake. It's actually an idea that he's been talking about for a long time, and it has to do with Project 2025. I'm Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney for the Department of Justice. I have to start with some basics. Our Constitution divides power among three branches of government: the legislative, the executive, and the courts. The founders wanted to prevent tyranny by making sure that no branch could get too much power, so they created this system called checks and balances. This is a problem for Stephen Miller and the other creators of Project 2025. They are trying to implement an ultra-conservative vision for America in just 4 years. But checks and balances make it hard for any president to quickly make major changes to our country. They have a strategy, though. It involves consolidating and expanding the power of the executive branch, meaning the president. That's where plenary authority comes in. Plenary authority refers to power that is absolute and unrestricted. The only area where the Constitution gives the president plenary authority is over pardons. Presidential pardons cannot be reviewed by Congress or the courts. In all other areas, the president has to share power with Congress and the courts. When Stephen Miller used the phrase plenary authority, he was talking about the National Guard. Miller says the president has unlimited authority to deploy the National Guard whenever he wants because the Constitution makes him the commander-in-chief of the military. This is wrong. The Constitution actually gives Congress the authority to decide when the National Guard can be deployed. The president can only deploy the Guard in specific, limited circumstances defined by Congress. The Constitution also gives courts the authority to review the president's decisions. So far, every court to consider the question has found that the president does not have plenary authority to deploy the National Guard. The important takeaway is that Miller and his team are working aggressively to expand the powers of the president. They are intentionally testing the limits of checks and balances by ignoring Congress and the courts. This is how they are implementing Project 2025. Miller's comments on CNN took some folks by surprise, but what he's doing is not a secret. It's happening out in the open all throughout government. Virtually every news headline nowadays ties back to Project 2025's plot to expand presidential power. The courts and Congress can push back on this, and hopefully they will. But remember, we the citizens are the last line of defense for our democracy. We can demand more from our reps, and we can vote out of office all those who support empowering an autocratic president.
I live over on 11th, and I ran over here because I wanted to talk to you so bad. If they're shooting at people, if they are warrantless kidnapping people or creating the warrants after they pick them up, and there's no consequences, that's the thing I don't think people understand. This isn't about immigration. If it was, I think people would be supportive of it, right? If someone is a criminal, they should be deported through due process. And if someone is just an immigrant here, you should be more willing to figure out a way to get them citizenship than just saying, oh, they should have done it the right way. And you keep talking about how expensive everything is.
Yeah.
Our cops are supposed to be copping. They're supposed to be out there helping us in like solving crimes. And there needs 9 of them to arrest one guy? Like, is that the best use of our resources? Everyone is fighting for little pittances of money everywhere. Meanwhile, we're doing Black Hawk helicopters and M80s and tanks and all of this shit. Like, is that helping anybody? My health insurance doubled. Did yours? Does that have anything to do with immigrants? Because they've collected a ton of them and stuff does not seem to be getting any better. They want you to be apathetic and uninformed. They want you to just take what they say at face value. And you shouldn't, because they're lying. And I care and I love this country. And the fact that people are now being like, authoritarianism is cool as long as it's Donald Trump being the authoritarian. Like, wake up. Think about who you were 15 years ago before all this craziness happened.
Do you think Bad Bunny is a good choice for the Super Bowl?
I'm not that knowledgeable about him, but it seems fine, and I don't know why it's a big deal. Seems like a great American artist, so sure.
He's not an American artist, but
he's Puerto Rican. That's part of America, dear.
Yeah, you don't think you have any problem with him saying like the ICE is? Well, I'm sure you don't. Mother effers and sons of and that he's not going to perform here due to immigration.
America agrees with him on that.
You think so?
The majority of Americans think ICE has gone too far. They've watched videos of 79-year-old business owners be slammed to the ground and their ribs broken by ICE. So I think the American people are probably on board with that message at this point, Tommy.
Big enough. Take it, yeah, take it,